Ready, set, hike. Kids ages 5 through 12 can now register for the Marana flag football winter season. Visit maranaaz.gov/recreation to sign up now. Uniforms and flags are included. Get in the game.
Enjoy free live music at Marana's Concerts in the Courtyard, located in the beautiful Marana Municipal Complex, scheduled on third Thursday nights in the fall and spring. With theme nights, food trucks, and attractions, this concert series is truly a family-friendly experience. Visit maranaaz.gov/events for the complete schedule.
Welcome to Real Talk with the Town, where I sit down with the Marana staff to answer your burning questions about our beautiful community. My name is Terry Rozema, and I'm the town manager for the town, so let's get started. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Real Talk with the Town. My name is Terry, and I am your host, and today I'm joined by a couple of members of our team. Vic Hathaway from our communications division, and also we have Deputy Director of Parks and Recs, Wayne Barnett. Guys, say hello to us. Let's start with Vic. Say hello to our listeners for us.
Hi, Terry, and hi, everybody out there. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast today.
Hey, Terry. Hi, everybody. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, today, it's been a little while. It's been a few weeks since we've had a podcast. So if you're out there and you want to know what's going on in the town or you got questions, please send those to us because we love doing the show, love keeping everybody informed. And today we are going to inform you about some awards that the town has been receiving. So I'm going to talk to Vic about some awards from communications. I'm going to talk to Wayne about some awards that have been given to Parks and Recs. But we have a few awards that were given to a number of other departments, and since we can't have all the departments in here at once, we chose Parks and Recs and Communication. But I'm going to highlight here. So the first award on here is for the Finance Department, and they received a Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. Yanni up there and Starla and the rest of the crew have done an outstanding job of making sure that we are fiscally responsible, that we're dotting the I's and crossing the T's. Very important thing when it comes to public monies. And so we want to be very judicious with that. And the finance department is doing a great job. Public Works also got an award. They got a state award, and this was the project of the year under $5 million. And this was for the Twin Peaks Sandario Roundabout. And those who are out there actually using that can testify to the fact that that is an incredible amenity out there. A lot of people were concerned, said that we should have a traffic light, but now we get nothing but praise from our community. And the Public Works team just did an amazing job with that project. And as I said, won Project of the Year for the state of Arizona from the Public Works Association. And then in wastewater, we got the Small Treatment Plant System of the Year from the Arizona Water Association and the Small Sanitary Sewer System of the Year from the AZWater Association. So our wastewater team doing a great job making sure that we have water and that we're treating water and doing the best to keep those resources where they need to be. So now let's jump into our guest today. And the first one here we're going to talk to is Wayne Barnett. As I said, Wayne is our Deputy Director of Parks and Rec. And Wayne, you guys got quite a few awards. I had the great privilege, I got to tell you, of going up and watching the award ceremony. And I thought it was actually the Marana award ceremony. You guys got so many awards.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And we heard that from our colleagues throughout the rest of that week. We were up at the Arizona Parks and Recreation Association annual conference, and Marana Parks and Recreation was recognized by winning 4 different awards. So there are 22 state awards given every year, and we won 4 of them. So it was kind of like, welcome to the Marana Town Awards night. So it was a lot of fun. There was another municipality that got 4. They made sure we knew about it. It's kind of competitive. Avondale also won 4. And so...
Hey, is that where our very own Corey LaRiva ended up going?
That is correct.
Well, no wonder they got 4. The guy came from Marana.
Yeah, it's part of the legacy of Marana. So, we sort of take credit for those awards too.
Well, Wayne, I think that's a good point. I think we should at least get partial credit. So I think we are in first place since we get partial credit for their 4. So let's talk a little bit about the 4 awards that the team got. And let's start with the Outstanding Partnership Award.
Yeah, so I think it's really important to note that the awards really are a byproduct of the work that the town, not only the Parks and Rec staff do every day, but the rest of the town, because we really work together. And the first award is the Partnership Award. And so this really is an example of how the work that we're doing is benefiting the citizens and the community. So if you're familiar with the loop in Marana at Ina Road, north of Ina Road, there's a section of the loop that every year, whenever it rained, it got flooded. So a couple of things resulted from that. One, it was unusable. So if you're on a bicycle, you're riding to Marana, once you hit Ina, you had to stop and turn around. Or if you were brave enough to try to get through it, you usually didn't make it through it. You fell down and then turned around and left. The other thing that always occurred was there was a lot of maintenance to repair that. So our staff spent hours and hours and hours with heavy equipment moving that sand and silt and debris off of the path. So we came together. There was another project in that area with Pima County Wastewater and Pima County Flood Control, and we were working with them on that. It's a force main project. It's an infrastructure project. And there was a recognition that we could all come together to make an improvement behind, most people know it as the Amazon site. So behind Amazon, what we did was, as a result of this partnership, we raised the loop, we raised the bike path for about a half a mile and took it out of this flooded area. So now when it rains, you can still get through Ina Road onto the path and continue north. So we've seen a lot of people really just benefit from that improvement. The best part about that for Marana was there was no cost. These entities were working on this project. They saw the benefit not only for themselves, but for Marana and Marana citizens. And so we got this brand new section of path, about a half a mile, that's high and dry. And, our colleagues around the state saw the benefit of this, and they understand the importance of working together with our partners, whether they be municipal partners or community partners, to get things done.
Yeah, this really is a great story and great cooperation. There aren't a lot of areas, at least in Arizona, I think, and I'll speak to that, but there aren't a lot of areas where municipalities and counties are coming together and working together on projects. I'm so grateful, and I know that you can attest to this, Wayne, for the relationship that we have with the other municipalities in the county in the area. Pima County has been great to work with. That project certainly is a testimony to that. And Amazon was fantastic in this whole thing as well.
Yeah, that's been really a rewarding part of this whole thing. We are in Pima County, so the fact that we can work really well with our colleagues in Pima County, it just benefits all of us. And then for Amazon to be coming into our community, to recognize how not only they can benefit the community, but how they can become a bigger part of the community. I think that all came together to make this possible.
And we got a great piece of artwork down there now, too.
We did. I'm glad you brought that up. That's an added benefit. We weren't expecting that. Amazon purchased these 2 large birds, and they sit right alongside the loop. And so if you've ridden on other parts of
and just for clarification, they're not like 2 live birds. They're 2 large sculptures. I mean, huge. They are ginormous metal sculptures.
You can't miss them.
Yeah.
They're great for wayfinding. And if you ride other parts of the loop, you know that there's art throughout the loop. And it's just a good way to know you hit the birds and you're in Marana.
Very good. All right. So 1 of the 4 down, 3 more to go. Let's talk about the Outstanding Cultural Program.
So Little known fact, we've won this award 2 years in a row. So last year we won the same award recognizing our Founders Day program. And this year we won that same award recognizing our Star-Spangled Spectacular. So I think the big point I want to make about this is that when we look at which programs are award worthy, because we do a lot of great programs, but we do a lot of great programs that other people do as well. So we're looking at how what we do stands apart from what other people do. Everybody does the 4th of July program, right? But nobody does it like we do.
I like it.
Yeah, and so that's what we were trying to convey. And it's not we're kind of bragging, but we're not bragging.
You have to brag a little bit if you're putting in for an award.
I guess so. I guess you got it. So we're bragging a little bit about what we do in Marana. I mean, we did it big, and we do it big. Our Crossroads Park was really highlighted. We highlighted the fact that where our 4th of July Star-Spangled Spectacular sits is in a business corridor. It's in a community corridor, and so it really is a welcoming event. There's something for everybody there. If you've never been to it, it is spectacular. The name fits. So it was really fun to see this award be nominated, because I'm not going to lie, I was a little skeptical about whether we should nominate it. But once Shelby Shear, our special event supervisor, once she put it all down, laid it all down for us on paper, what goes into the event, what the event is all about, I said, how can it lose? So we were really happy to nominate that for an award.
Well, that position turned out to be prophetic. How could we lose? Apparently you couldn't.
We couldn't.
Yeah. So that's fantastic. And you mentioned Shelby, and I know that Shelby does just an amazing job. And, every year, Shelby and you and Jim are always looking for ways to, elevate it just a little bit more and continue to take that to new heights. So we really appreciate that. Our special events, the 4 of them that we have here in town, the major ones, are just fantastic and continue to get better and better. So let's move on to number 4 here, Outstanding Active Adult Program. Let's talk about that one, Wayne.
Sure. So this is a really meaningful program for the community, for the program that it serves, and for the staff who work the program. So it's Crafting for a Cause. This is a program run out of our senior program, or out of the senior center in Orme-Harn Park. We've got 2 staff members who work there, Tammy Burchett and Olivia Salazar. Just fantastic people.
Yeah, they are.
Talk about the right people for the right job. Those 2 are the right people for that job. And so what this program is, it's a craft program for our seniors. So again, that's one of those sort of staples in senior programming. You're inviting the seniors in, you're going to do crafts, and that's great. It's a socialization opportunity. They get to take home, some cool creative stuff, but our staff wanted to take it to another level. So a few years back, this program has actually been around for a little while. A few years back, they made a connection with the Marana Food Bank. And so there was a need. And we were looking at ways that we could help support the food bank, which then in turn supports the community. And so what they did, I have to say that the crafts that they make are really cool. I mean, they're high quality, professional, just really nice stuff. So we thought, we could probably sell some of this stuff and make a little bit of money. What could we do with that money? Well, we could support Marana, and the food bank is where we started. So they would sell crafts at some of our signature events. So you've probably seen them at Founders Day. You've probably seen them at the award-winning Star-Spangled Spectacular.
I like it, award-winning.
Selling their crafts. And the money went straight to the food bank. The program progressed over the years, and a lot of that is because of the passion of our staff who work that program. And so we've branched out from just the food bank. They're now working with MUSD, who's connecting them with families who need some assistance. Just about 2 weeks ago, they delivered food, they delivered clothing, they delivered school supplies and toys to families in the community who needed it. Last year at Christmas, they worked with a couple of different families who needed some assistance. They were able to help
That's
them.
outstanding.
Yeah, it was great. Help them enhance the Christmas that they were having for their families. And so this is one of those programs we're all really proud of. We're all really proud of Olivia and Tammy for the work that they do and just the passion that they show every day for their jobs.
Outstanding. A great shout out to Olivia and Tammy. Well deserved to both of them. And then the last one here. Now, Kim Warner, that guy, he's an amazing dude. You got to love Kim. He's just one of those employees that you see him, he's always got a smile on his face. And he won Outstanding Park Professional. So let's brag on Kim Warner a little bit.
Yeah. So our HR director here at the town always likes to say, our employees are our special sauce. And I don't think that applies anywhere better than with Kim Warner. Mm-hmm. Kim is such a unique person. So he won the Outstanding Park Professional Award, really because Kim is a dual threat. So he's got the maintenance background down. He's the guy out on the trails, making our trails safe, making them walkable, making an already beautiful location even more beautiful because it's more accessible. We get contacted, I'm not exaggerating, weekly by somebody who's been on our trails and they've encountered Kim and they just want to talk about the great work he's done, but even more so about what a great ambassador he is. Mm-hmm. He knows the trails, he knows the desert. The guy is a walking encyclopedia and he's willing to share it. And so, part one of that dual threat is that he knows how to keep the trails maintained and safe. Part two is that he provides excellent recreation programming on the trails too. So Kim leads our guided hikes. We offer, when it's not crazy hot, we offer free guided hikes once a month. And Kim's the guy leading the crew out there, not only directing us where to go, but telling us what we're looking at. He's showing you the petroglyphs that you wouldn't be able to see if you walked by them 50 times. He can point them out to you. He's telling you what that cactus is over there. He's telling you to stay away from that cactus over there. So he does a fantastic job. Just a great ambassador. Probably my favorite part of our conference where we received these awards was seeing Kim's wife, Tina, and how proud she was of him.
Yes.
I was proud of the guy, but she was just beaming, and that just made my night. Kim, he's such a great part of the team. I would say he's unassuming, but he really is not. If you saw Kim and you saw the beard, you'd never forget him. So we're really proud of him. We're really proud to have him on the team. He just helps make our department well-rounded. He helps us provide that 5-star service because we're always, as a department, looking at how we help the town accomplish its mission, how we help raise the bar for the best quality of life for the citizens of Marana. And Kim is one of those people. He's our special sauce to help us do that.
Yeah. Well, I think that was an excellent summary of not only of Kim Warner, but of the award and clearly why he got it. You think about all the parks professionals throughout the state of Arizona for our very own to be able to win such an award, quite incredible. So, I don't know what's in the water over there in the Parks and Recs department. Actually, I do. I do know what's in the water, and it's Jim Conroy and Wayne Barnett. I want to thank you guys both. And, Jim is just an amazing park professional. You, Wayne, coming over and joining the team a number of years back. You guys are a dynamic duo. You lead your team well, and you're just doing outstanding work there. So thank you for what you do, and keep up the great job.
Thanks, Terry. We love being here. We love what we're doing. We love Marana. We love the community, and we really appreciate the support we get from the citizens and from our fellow colleagues with the town of Marana.
Well said. Well said.
Experience Marana's Western and agricultural heritage like you've never seen it before at the Marana Fall Festival. Enjoy live music, food trucks, carnival rides, and an immersive sunflower experience. You can even enroll your child in the Mutton Bustin' competition. We'll see you Saturday, October 21st from 2 to 9 p.m. at Marana Heritage River Park. Visit maranaz.gov/events for more information.
People lose their valuables every day simply because they forget to lock their car doors. Don't be another statistic. Remove all your belongings anytime you leave your car, including valuables and weapons. This is a message from the Marana Police Department, reminding all residents to lock it or lose it.
Whether you're starting a business or looking to expand in Marana, our Town Development Services staff will walk you through the steps towards success. Learn about business licenses, development permits, business loans, local and state resources, and more. Let's get to work. For more information, visit maranaaz.gov/business development.
So now moving away from Parks and Recs and into our communications section here. And we're going to talk, of course, with Vic Hathaway. Vic has been the communications manager for quite some time. Vic, how long you been in charge of communications?
In this position, I would say around 7 years.
7 years. All right. So a good long time. You've got lots of experience. Your team has grown significantly. Talk just for a minute before we jump into the awards, because I know you're so proud of your team.
I am.
And what they do and who they are. So talk a little bit about them and your team.
Yeah, absolutely. So the communications division is in the town manager's office, so we get the privilege of working with you, Terry, but we also have the privilege of working with all
I like how you slid that one in there, Vic. Very well done.
And also Wayne and his team. I'm listening to him go through all of the awards, and we had the ability to work with your teammates, and I can attest to how amazing they really are and how innovative they really are. So we as a community have grown substantially over the years, and the communications division has grown as well. And it's because we're trying to provide the best services possible for our departments who need marketing, advertising, and PR services. So right now I oversee 4 amazing people. I have 3 visual communication designers. That's Ramon Armenta, Hannah Schilling, and Zachary King. And then I have 1 communications specialist, who's Amanda Gomez, who came straight to us from KVOA News. And she's been a wonderful asset. And every day I get to work with this amazing group of people who bring fresh ideas, new ideas, and solutions to our everyday challenges. And being able to work with them is what makes being here at the town so great.
Outstanding. Yeah. And they are truly innovative. They are truly creative. The things that I kind of lack personally, creativity, and those guys have it in spades. They really have incredible minds, and some of the things that they put out there week in and week out, so impressive. So let's talk for a little bit about the communications team. These are national awards here, and you guys got 3 of them?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, we submitted for 10 originally.
Wow.
So the 5 of us thought, what are our 2 favorite, most impactful projects each? And let's submit them, so 10 total, and see what we end up with. And we've competed on the national level several times now. And I love, first I must say, the City County Communications and Marketing Association is a fantastic way to learn about best practices for municipal communications around the entire nation. So while it's a great opportunity to get recognition for some of these projects, I love looking at what other municipalities submit. And the way that the awards are set up is we go through a library afterwards to see what other people did, and you get even more inspiration that way.
Oh, outstanding. Outstanding. So 3 awards that you guys, we're going to start with the Savvy Award for Public Service Announcement. Are you #SplashSavvy?
Again, Parks and Recreation, I got to work with Kevin Goodrich, who works in the aquatics division. Fantastic program. So I want to give a little background to why we did this. So drowning is it's a global problem. It's a nationwide problem, specifically when we looked at our statistics. So drowning is one of the leading causes of death and unintentional injury in children ages 1 through 14 in the country. And from a local perspective here in Arizona, it gets really hot during the summer. Pools are really popular. People want to go swimming. We already see a countywide campaign that teaches about drowning prevention, but Kevin Goodrich recognized that drowning events can still occur. In fact, he had to respond to one a couple of years back. There was a drowning event at our own Oro-Mayhan Park pool. So as a result, he wanted to pull together a coalition of first responders to teach people what to actually do in the event of a drowning, whether it's at a community pool or in your own backyard or in your tub. And as a result, you, the parent or whoever is on site, becomes part of the first responder reaction. And this particular PSA video series we created that received this award taught young children and teenagers what to do. This is a very scary, intimidating topic. Being a mother myself, I was also trying to figure out how do we teach families how to do this in such a hard situation. I am also almost a drowning victim when I was younger. So I had to think really hard about how do we get this message across effectively? It meant a lot to me as well. What we ended up doing was creating a PSA video for specifically a young child around 7 or 8 years old, and another one who were teenagers who had actual swimming experience. And by walking them through, and for the young child it was in a playful way, and with the teens it was more in a side-by-side educational way, we found that it was a really accessible way to teach this very vital information. And luckily the judges for 3CMA saw the same thing.
Yeah, outstanding. And a shout out, you mentioned Kevin. Kevin's been on the show. We talked about Splash Savvy back in August during Drowning Awareness Prevention Month. And this program has actually received a number of awards. And so it's nice to see that not only on the local level, state level, but also on a national level now, this campaign and the way that you guys put it together has won yet another award. So great job to you and your team, Vic.
Thank you. It's such an important message, and I encourage everyone to check out Splash Savvy and learn what they can. We have all these special tools that you can use, including a way to put your address near the body of water that's near your home, so that when people are in a high stressful situation, one of the first things that happens is you forget where you are, or maybe you're visiting a friend's house, you don't know where you are. So these very simple tools can help the response rate be faster so you can save a life.
Yeah, and that was Kevin Goodrich's idea.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, excellent. All right, so I'm going to skip the next one here, and I'm going to jump into Award of Excellence for Marketing and Tools, new brand logo for Marana Regional Airport rebrand. Let's talk about that one.
Yes, so Marana Regional Airport has a long history here, and you interviewed Galen a couple months ago, and he talked about that history. We have a very unique opportunity here at the town that has been a long time coming. We are in the process of getting a control tower. And so we expect a significant increase in not just volume, but also diversity of air traffic frequency once that air control tower is up. So Galen and Linda, who is also Linda Drawley, who also works at airport, came to my team and they said, we want to create an identifiable identity, a brand, so that when we see that increase in traffic, people recognize us and know what to expect. So Hannah Schilling is our visual communications designer who was assigned this task. And so the idea was to create an entirely new brand identity and marketing campaign to make people proud and also represent what that airport is for its strengths. It's gorgeous out there, open air, there's amazing mountain views. It's also the idea that you can touch down, park, I don't know my airport terminologies that well. I assume you park your plane and you get out to your car and you drive off, and it's so quick and efficient. So how can we capture that feeling as well as also play into some of the history for the area? So Hannah specifically tried to create a down-to-earth retro modern aesthetic. And I think when you look at the illustration...
Now that sounds like art talk right there.
Yes, okay, I know my art talk better than my airport talk. But yeah, she did a great job. And this rebrand included, colors, fonts, graphics, letterhead, business cards. We created ads, stickers. We also created a noise abatement program collateral for them. So one of the issues that the airport deals with a lot is noise complaints. So how can we, number one, educate our residents about it, but also educate the airplane customers about it as well. So Hannah was involved in that, and I think having a strong visual and something you recognize when you come through is really important. And we're just at the beginning. I think that, the airport tower is not built yet. There's a lot of plans for the future of this airport. So now we have a brand in place and it can grow along with the facility.
Outstanding, and great job to Hannah on this one. Another award-winning project in the communications department. And last but not least, a silver circle for digital, interactive, other media / podcast. So wait a minute, Vic. Are you telling me that Real Talk with the Town is now an award-winning podcast?
I sure am.
What?
Great job, Terry.
Oh, no. I've told you guys this before. I've told our listeners this before. This whole idea was born from Andrea Caicedo. Oh, I say Caicedo. It's not Caicedo anymore. It's De La Cruz and Vic Hathaway here. And they're the ones behind the scene that are always putting these things together and making them go and work. And but it's cool that all of our listeners are now listening to an award-winning podcast. So talk a little bit about Real Talk with the Town.
Yes. So Real Talk with the Town, I think, is really special because our programming centers entirely around what residents are asking us. And that's really, really cool. And I have to give you a lot of credit, Terry, because I think the way you approach these questions with a lot of transparency and humility and the openness to improving things. One of the things I talked about in the award submittal is you and Fausto were talking about road improvements in Dove Mountain, and one of the residents submitted a possible solution, and the both of you were really open to exploring that. And I think that is a great way that you open the conversation with the public, and that's exactly what we were trying to solve. What was happening was we would get a lot of questions from people individually, whether it's by email or in person, and they'd have some really important questions about what was going on in the community. And we would answer them, but that was just it. The conversation stopped there. And we have public meetings, but not everybody attends a public meeting. So how can we get these answers in front of a larger audience? And the people that want to know these details, I felt were the perfect fit for our podcast. And so now we have 30 minutes, sometimes an hour, where we dive deep and we have these conversations that are the equivalent to what we would have if they came to us in person.
Right.
And now we're opening up the conversation to everybody. So I have some statistics. And the statistics stop in May because that's when we submitted the award. So that's what our judges were going off of. But 46 questions were submitted from the public through our form. 23 questions were submitted by town staff because they received a question from a resident outside of the form. And then 16 questions were included from our Community Development Block Grant 5-year plan survey. 50 questions have now been answered over the span of the 23 episodes up until May. So the fact that we are so proactive about making sure we're addressing these questions, I think really helped this podcast stand apart. And the judges really enjoyed it. And what I really like is that we have friends in other parts of the nation that also listen, people that are considering Marana as a place to stay or visit or live, or they have family members that work here or live here in the town, and they want to know what's going on. And I've received feedback that they're like, Marana is such a great example, and it's so cool to be able to learn these things. So kudos to the team, but kudos to you, Terry. I think you're doing a great job as a host.
Well, thanks. I certainly try hard to make sure that the information here that people need to hear gets out there, and that only happens if you guys send in the questions. I think, let me ask you this, Vic. So we have quite a few podcasts under our belt now. I don't even know how many, but it's quite a few. And do you ever find that people are using these podcasts, pointing people to the podcast? Hey, the town did a podcast on this. Does that ever happen? Absolutely. And it's so cool to see. So on social media, when we do word searches and we look up, especially in the comment section of hot button items, and people bring up a question that maybe we've already addressed, the coolest part is going through the comments and seeing someone say, this was addressed in the Real Talk with the Town podcast, and they'll link to it. That's happened several times. We've had some of our employees who are on Nextdoor, and so they're able to see the conversations going on in their neighborhoods, and that'll happen there as well. And then they'll let us know. So it's a cool way to measure impact. I also think, and I polled the department heads, I said, are you continuing to hear some of the questions and maybe misinformation or misrepresentation of some of the things that we're doing out there? And I received back that they aren't hearing as much of it. So it's nice to see an impact from the podcast. And we know that a lot of these questions might continue to keep getting brought up because some people might not catch it just yet. And it's just part of the education. We let people know, and then we broaden our audience, and people learn that the Real Talk with the Town podcast is a reliable, transparent resource for them. That's outstanding. Very well stated. And I think that the more people get the information, get accurate information, we're all better because of it. So great job to you and your team, Vic. Really appreciate all the hard work and energy that goes in to all of these programs, and not only these that are award-winning, but day-to-day things that people just don't see and know about. So. Well, thank you. And I also want to give credit to some of our very talented peers in other departments who, if you do listen to Real Talk with the Town, you'll hear promos of programming. And I'll ask these employees to be the voice of their programs. And sometimes they're nervous and sometimes they're excited, but either way, they do a fantastic job. So I want to give them a lot of credit too. Excellent. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Real Talk with the Town. So appreciate you all joining us. Until next time.
Submit your questions by visiting maranaaz.gov/realtalk and we'll answer them right here. To receive notifications for new releases, remember to click subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Also, please follow the town on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date on current news and events.